To make this Malwani rice, we're going to heat about 1.5 tablespoons of regular cooking oil in a pan. Here are some raw peanuts. I've taken about 1/4 of a cup. You can take as per your choice, or you can totally drop off the peanuts if you don't like peanuts. Now we're going to fry these peanuts till they turn a nice golden brown. This really adds an amazing flavor to the Malwani rice. So we're going to fry them for about half a minute. Since the oil is nice and hot, they brown up very fast. Remember to cook on a low to medium flame, never cook on a high flame. So now the peanuts are almost a light brown. And so we're going to take them out and keep them aside. Now in the same oil, we are going to use our normal fodni sahitya, or the stuff that we use in our normal Indian cooking. So there goes in half a teaspoon of mustard seeds or mohri or rai, followed by half a teaspoon of cumin seeds or jeera. Then goes in half a teaspoon of hing or asafoetida, followed by half a teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. Now I've taken about 2 dried red chilies and 1 green chili slit into 2, a light green chili, followed by some curry leaves. We're going to give all of this a nice mix and a nice fry till the chilies are nice and fried. Now to this, I am going to be adding the rice. Like I said in the introduction, either you have some leftover rice, or like here I've prepared some fresh rice, parboiled some basmati rice, but let it cool down for about 15 to 20 minutes completely, so that all the grains are separated. And I've also put a little bit of clarified butter and ghee, just half a teaspoon, just sprinkled it all over the rice. Now we're going to give this a good mix so that the rice is completely coated with our fodni or the bagar. Now once this is completely mixed well, we're going to add our fried peanuts. Now this goes in the Malwani masala as per your taste, whether you like it very spicy or you like it mild, and some salt for seasoning. Now we're going to give all of this a nice mix so that the Malwani masala coats all the grains of rice well. This is an extremely delicious dish. You can serve this with some fried papad, roasted papad, some raita, or even some salad at the side, like some chopped up cucumbers, tomatoes, and some pickle also. Now we're going to cover this and we're going to cook it for about 2 to 3 minutes. Stirring in between once or twice. This helps to get everything well incorporated together. Now we're going to garnish it with some freshly chopped coriander or cilantro leaves. Again, give it a mix. And now we're going to turn off the flame and we're going to squeeze some lovely lemon juice. So this is a very tangy, spicy and just extremely delicious rice. So there goes in some freshly squeezed lemon. You can add the lemon or you can drop the lemon, again depending upon your liking. And again give it a nice mix so everything gets well mixed and everything is well coated, and our Malwani rice is all ready to serve. I hope you like this short and sweet recipe. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon in another video. Take care. Let me take you through the ingredients. There are very few ingredients. So here I have 2 medium-sized onions that I've chopped fine, 20 cloves of garlic, half an inch of ginger, and 1 green chili that I've just cut up into half. Here there are about 8 to 10 curry leaves and about 1/4 cup of coriander leaves, chopped fine. 1 medium-sized tomato chopped fine, half a teaspoon of cumin powder or jeera powder, 1/4 teaspoon of garam masala. I'll leave a recipe of homemade garam masala down below. 2 teaspoons of Kashmiri red chili powder, 1 teaspoon of coriander or dhania powder, and this is 2 teaspoons of fennel seeds or sauf, and this is about 200 grams of chicken cut into smaller pieces. Now I'm going to heat a pan and I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of oil. Once the oil is nice and hot, I'm going to add these fennel seeds and I'm going to saute them in the oil. And you'll get this beautiful aroma of these fennel seeds or sauf. They have a sweetish kind of an aroma. Next, I'm going to add the ginger, the garlic and the green chilies. We're going to fry all of this for at least half a minute, till the rawness of the garlic and the ginger goes away. Then I'm going to add the curry leaves and I'm also going to add the chopped onions. And now I'm going to fry everything on a medium flame for at least 10 minutes. We want the onions to completely turn into a dark golden color or a darkish brown color like this. Once that is done, just transfer it to a bowl and let it come completely to room temperature. Once it comes to room temperature, I'm going to add the tomato and I'm going to grind this to a very smooth paste without adding any water. Now I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of ghee to the same pan. This is the ground paste, and I've also added about half a cup of water to the mixer jar in which the masala was ground, and this is the masala water. We're going to use it in the recipe. We will also be needing 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi powder. Now once the ghee is nice and hot, I'm going to add this ground masala paste and we're going to fry this paste for at least a whole minute. We're going to fry this on a medium flame till it changes to a darkish color and starts to ooze out a little bit of ghee or oil. So this is also very key to this recipe, that you fry this paste really well. Now I'm going to add all the powder masalas, that is the coriander powder, the cumin powder, the Kashmiri chili powder, the garam masala and the turmeric. And again we're going to saute this for another whole minute. And I'm also going to add some salt to taste. And now again I'm going to mix everything and fry everything for a whole minute. Frying the masala paste is very key and very important to this recipe. That brings out all the flavor to this recipe. So fry everything for a whole minute. And you will see now that the masala changes into a very darker color, and you see some ghee or oil oozing out of the mixture. It changes its consistency, and this is the time we're going to add the chicken. Now you can use chicken on the bone also for this recipe. And I'm going to coat the chicken really well with this bagar or this masala. That's also very important. See that all the pieces are nicely coated with this chicken, with the masala, sorry. So take your time and let the masala coat the chicken really nicely. Now this is more of a drier dish, but if you want to have a little bit more of gravy, you can increase the water from half a cup to 1.5 cup or 1 cup, depending on how much gravy you need. I'm keeping this dish dry, more on the drier side or semi-dry. So now I'm going to add this 1/4 cup of masala water. And again, I'm going to mix everything really well. And we've done up with all the ingredients. Now all we have to do is just cook the chicken till it's really nicely done. So mix everything really nicely. And then we're just going to cover and cook this for about 8 to 10 minutes on a low flame, stirring in intervals. And finally, our lovely garlic chicken is all ready. All it needs is a lovely garnish of some fresh coriander. You can have this with some chapatis, some rotis, some naan, or some dal and rice. It tastes really very delicious. So do give this recipe a try. One sweet buns made with whole wheat flour. So let's go through the ingredients. Now here I have one ripe banana. This is 1 cup of whole wheat flour, the flour that we use to make our chapatis, not the maida. This is about 4 tablespoons of dahi or yogurt, which is homemade. I'll leave a recipe of how I make the curd at home. This is about 1/4 cup of sugar. You can use it as per your taste. You can lessen it or increase it. This is 1 teaspoon of soft or fennel seeds. Half a teaspoon of baking soda. This will help the buns rise. 1/4 teaspoon of turmeric powder or haldi, and half a teaspoon of ova or ajwain. Even this elevates the taste, and just a pinch of salt. So now I've taken a bowl and I'm going to peel the banana. The banana has to be a little bit ripe, not raw at all. And now we're just going to mash it up with a fork. It doesn't have to be overripe. It just has to be ripe that you can eat it. Now mash it up well with a fork. Now I'm going to add half the quantity of the sugar. And I'm going to mash it up well. Next, I'm going to add the remaining quantity of the sugar. Then just a pinch of salt. Next, I'm going to add the baking soda, mix it in well, then goes in the turmeric, then the fennel seeds and the ova. So now mix all of this really well. And now we're just going to do a taste test just to see if we need to adjust the salt, the sugar. I needed to add a little bit of sugar, so in total I added about 1/4 cup of sugar. Next I'm going to go with the curd. Mix all of this really well. Now we're not going to add a single drop of water. Again, do a taste test before you add the flour, and once you're convinced about the taste, then you add the whole wheat flour. Now mix it in really well. And now we're going to just knead this into a nice soft yet firm dough. I just added about 4 tablespoons more of flour, so just adjust it as per your the flour, because all flours are a little bit different in consistency, and we want a nice firm dough like a puri dough. And then we're going to set this aside and cover it and let it rest for 8 hours. It's very important that you keep it aside for 8 hours. You can refrigerate it also for 8 hours, or just keep it in a nice cool dark place. Now after it has, everything has come together and it is set really well, and now I'm just going to make small line-sized balls. Now with one banana and 1 cup of whole wheat flour with, just about 4 tablespoons more, I got exactly 15 sweet buns. So now I've kept some oil for heating, about 2 cups of oil for deep frying. Now I'm going to roll out the balls. And as I roll them out, I'm going to then keep a plate or a thali at the side and place them, a little apart from each other so that they don't stick to each other. So just place them on the thali so that you have all your puris ready before you start frying, so you don't have to concentrate on the rolling out of the buns and the frying. So keep them all ready. And then all you have to do is just deep fry them on a low to medium flame till they nicely puff up like this and become golden brown in color. So when you're frying them, just keep an eye on them. Don't let them get burned. Don't let them, get absorbed too much of oil. So just immediately when they puff up, just turn them around and then, put them on some tissue so that all the excess oil gets drained up. Now your oil has to be really nice and hot for them to nicely puff up. And they should be nice and golden brown like this. The turmeric also helps in giving a lovely golden brown color. And in this way, just fry all the remaining puris or the sweet buns. And this is such a delicious evening tea time snack. It goes so well with a nice hot cup of tea. Of course, it goes best with Goa bananas, but they're not available here in Mumbai. I mean, they're available, but at very select places and not at all times. But the Goa banana, of course, has its own beautiful taste. So if you can get your hands on that, use that. And here it is, our lovely Goan sweet buns are all ready. They've nicely puffed up and they're really delicious. Let me just break one to show you all. And you can see how nice and double layered they are and hollow in the middle. And it's fried also very well. So do try out this recipe, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'll catch you in my next video. This is Akshata signing off. Bye. Dough for the pizza. Now here I've taken exactly 1.5 cup of maida. I've also taken 1.5 cup of whole wheat flour, as I'm going to show you both the breads, one made with whole wheat and one made with maida. Now here I have some warm water. I also have some yeast and I have a little bit of sugar and some warm milk. Now all ingredients with the exact measurements will be in the description box below. Now first I'm going to add the sugar to the warm water. The water should not be hot, but it should be lukewarm. It should be, that you can easily dip your finger into it. It should be of that, the temperature should be that much, not very hot. So I'm going to now, once the sugar has completely dissolved, I'm going to add my yeast. And I'm just going to give it a very light stir. We don't want to mix it up thoroughly, just a light stir. And then we're just going to let it sit till it froths up and doubles up in size. So it should look like this. Now we are going to grate some cloves of garlic, because this is a garlic bread, so we require a lot of garlic. And we, if you grate it, then it you don't get these bites of garlic, and it just blends into the bread very well. Now I'm going to add this grated garlic to both my flours equally. I'm also going to add some salt to taste. And I'm going to add this lukewarm milk. I'm going to give everything a thorough mix, and then I'm going to add the yeast. First, I'm going to add it to the whole all-purpose flour. So if you all are using regular maida, your dough should look like this. It becomes extremely sticky. Don't worry about it. Just keep kneading it and add a little flour at a time. Just dust some maida on top and a little bit of olive oil. You can just put a little drops of olive oil and keep kneading this dough, and eventually you'll get this very soft and smooth dough. So this is what we're looking for. And then I'm just going to brush a little bit of olive oil, and then I'm going to cover and keep this aside till it doubles in size for almost an hour. I'm going to do the same process with my whole wheat flour too. Friends, you need to keep this dough aside for at least an hour because it has to double up in size. Only then will you get this lovely light garlic bread, which will bake very well too. So give this dough an hour to sit aside till it doubles up in size. Now I'm going to prepare the other ingredients that we require for this lovely garlic bread. Now I am using chicken, but you can also use paneer, you can use veggies. So I've just just sauteing my chicken pieces with a little bit of pepper, salt and some herbs. And now here I've just melted some butter. I'm going to add some chopped garlic. I'm also going to be adding some pepper powder, chili flakes, and some mixed herbs or Italian seasoning. We're going to give all of this a nice mix. Now my dough has doubled up and is all ready. So I'm just going to dust some flour on the surface and I'm going to just knead this dough. Then I'm going to be dividing this dough into 2 equal parts. Just smoothen out the dough. And then we're just going to roll it out. Then I'm going to brush some of this butter mixture that I've prepared. Now onto one side, because we're going to fold this up, so onto one side, I'm just going to add a little bit of the chicken, some jalapenos, and a little bit of cheese. Now you can add whatever you want as a stuffing. Then just seal it up well. I've just greased my baking pan. I'm just going to place it, and then I'm just going to cut it up with a knife, but not, don't completely cut it up. Just the top part of it needs to be cut. And I'm going to do the same thing with the other half. Now I would love to hear from you all as to what was this filling or the stuffing that you all put into this stuffed garlic bread. Now sealing up the bread is very important. And then just brush it generously with this butter mixture. Now I've preheated my oven to 200 degrees for 10 minutes. So I'm going to bake this for 10 minutes at 200 degrees and then another 10 minutes at 180 degrees. Just check on the bread because every oven is different. And after about 20 minutes, this is the bread. I'm going to let it completely cool down to room temperature before I cut the garlic bread up. Now I'm just going to use my pizza cutter and just run it through and cut it up into even-sized pieces. It's so easy to work with this bread once it's baked and once it's cooled down. And here it is, friends. You can see the lovely cheese has melted and all the lovely chicken filling and the jalapenos. And you can serve this with some cheese dip or just with some cheese spread, or you can just have it all by itself. So I've repeated the entire process with the whole wheat dough. So you can either make this with whole wheat or you can make it with maida or all-purpose flour.